Welcome to episode number 17 of our EquiTalks program. I'm your host, JC De Guzman, and today I'll be talking about Bloom. So, in this episode number 17, it will be Bloom. Before we tackle the chart of Bloom, I'd like to inform you that you can still watch our previous episodes, listen to the previous podcasts, and read the previous case notes on our website at www.equilist.com, and you spell that as EQUILYST.com. Then click on Learn. Then you will see EquiTalks video, EquiTalks audio, and EquiTalks note. So on my screen, I'm on the EquiTalks videos page. Okay, so these are the videos uh, for the past or previous episodes. Now, before we tackle the chart of Bloom, I'd like to show you if it has some dividend announcements this 2019, and it has. There's a next dividend date of April 2, 2019 for 15 centavo cash dividend. Okay, so if you've heard my general rule of thumb when it comes to dividend plays from the previous episodes, you should already know by now if you will get dividends if you're going to buy or sell on, before, or after the ex-dividend date. Just in case this is your first time to listen to our EquiTalks program, I would encourage you to listen to the previous episodes so you can still catch that segment where I gave a general piece of advice for those who would like to do some dividend plays. Okay, let's move on to the chart of Bloom. Bloom closed today at 11.68. Support is at 11.12. Resistance is at 12.99. Let's make that 13 pesos. Today's red candlestick went below the 10-day simple moving average, but it managed to stay above the 50-day simple moving average. So we can say that Bloom is already bearish in the short term, while it's still bullish in the medium and long term, since it's above the 50-day and the 200-day simple moving average. Now, let's take a look at the volume of Bloom. This red candlestick has a volume that's below its 10-day volume average. So for this one, I would consider the possibility of the price of Bloom just moving sideways, maybe back and forth from where it is right now all the way to 11.6. There's a midterm support right here. Let me just draw that line so you can see that as well clearly. That one, okay, near 11.6. Now, if in the next few days we will continue to see red candlesticks, and if suddenly the volume becomes greater than its 10-day volume average, then that will change the probability, or that will make our sentiment even more bearish. And when that happens, we have to keep an eye on the support at 11.12 already. Okay. Now for the 2019 net foreign trade, Bloom is on a net foreign selling status. Okay. MACD remains bearish for Bloom on the daily chart. On the daily as well, Bloom has a volatility score of 25%, and that gives the stock a low risk level. Okay, now let's take a look at the price and volume distribution analysis for Bloom. On the left chart, I'm showing you the prices that got the biggest volume, and on the right chart, I'm showing you the prices that got the highest number of trades. So for today, Wednesday rather, March 27, the range that got the biggest volume is from 11.58 all the way to 11.72. Now, the range that got the highest number of trades is between 11.60 all the way to 11.72. It's almost the same. Okay, it's almost the same. So that range is closer to the intraday low than to the intraday high. So therefore, that makes me assign a bearish overall sentiment on Bloom. So I encourage you to, let me just plot a rectangle here so that you can easily see this section. Okay, let me take a look at the parallel line. Okay, this one. Oh, not this one. Parallel rectangle. Okay, this level here. Okay, wait for the price of Bloom to enter this shaded area between 11.6 to 11.12. Perhaps um, that would serve as the rebounding zone of Bloom, but then again, we need to reevaluate when when changes on the price direction when changes are spotted. We have to reevaluate and take another look on the registration of volume again. Okay, but for now, I have a bearish sentiment on Bloom. My recommendation is to wait for the price to enter the 11.12 to 11.60 zone. It doesn't mean you will have to buy automatically when the price enters that level. I encourage you to reevaluate and check the volume again. If there's a higher volume than the previous days, then you have to uh, be bearish on your uh, continue being bearish on your overall sentiment. Wait all the way to 11.12 or even lower, especially if the downtrend momentum continues. Okay, so there you go for my analysis, overall sentiment, and recommended trade setup for Bloom. Of course, you know already that you have to stay on top of your trailing stop loss if you already have Bloom. If you'd like to know more about setting up a trailing stop loss, please watch or listen to the previous episodes of the EquiTalks program where I gave some tips on how you should calculate your trailing stop loss, especially if this is the first time that you've heard of that phrase. Okay, so in the previous episodes, I gave some pieces of advice on how you should calculate your trailing stop loss. All right, so this is this episode number 17 for the EquiTalks program. My name is JC De Guzman. Please don't forget to follow us on our social media channels. The links to our social media channels are indicated on the caption of this video if you're watching on YouTube, and on our profile on SoundCloud if you are listening to the podcast. And you can also see our social media channels on our website at the footer section. Thank you and have a great day.